Welcome back to some more Umineko When They Cry. So where we last left off, we read up the third episode of the Tea Party, and now we're going to the Tea Party on the unhuman part of it, or Witch's Tea Party. So it was only like Beatrice, Lambda, and Berncastle, you know, going on the topic of Santa, and then as Berncastle left, even though we didn't get told the answer about who that redhead girl was, I feel like I was close. You know, I'm just gonna pretend I didn't really. I'm pretty sure I didn't get spoiled. I didn't say anything like stupid or such. But you know, it's let's just say bit of a there was a little bit of a giveaway there from the when the third episode was close to an end. But that aside, let's continue. See what the because by the time this finishes, it'll, you know, oh, 12 years later. Huh. October 4th, 1998. So, 12 years later, maybe this is something to do with Battler's sister, right? I mean, if you look at the characters, yeah, it was only Eva that is remaining. Oh yeah, all the witches. Hmm. A monotonous electric sound kept on repeating. The room was colored with hygienic, hygienic tones, in other words, an emotionless white. It was a room at a certain university hospital. Neither her doctors nor the person himself had any doubts that this room, which had a price so high that no commoner could afford to spend a single night there, would be the last room she ever saw. Was the person on the bed Eva? Even if someone told you that was so, she was unbelievably aged and worn out. The well-built man in a suit waiting in the corner near the door was having a whispered conversation through an intercom with someone outside. He was a guard protecting Eva's person. After telling the person on the other end of the intercom to wait, he approached Eva's bed. Eva had been awake for a short while. However, she stared at a single point in an empty space as though her mind was not in the same place.
エンジェさんが下のロビーに到着しました。お通ししてよろしいですか？
No words from Eva. For a long time, Eva didn't answer. However, bit by bit, her eyes began to regain their focus and she gave a small nod, indicating that she didn't mind if they called Ange. Is it? Huh, so that's her name. Ong? I thought it was Ong, but I guess I could just call it like Anji. Enji. It had been Eva who called her, and she was right on time. By this point, Eva would refuse anyone who wanted a meeting without an appointment. The room was dark, even though it was still light outside, because the curtains were always closed. There was always one guard waiting in the room, and three more waiting in the corridor and the lobby. They were all there to protect Eva's person. Eventually, there was the sound of a knock. Also, there was a message from the intercom that the guest's body check had been completed with no problems. The door was unlocked, then opened, and a high school-aged girl was standing there.
会長、エンジェさんがいらっしゃいました。
Eva reacted and turned her face towards the guest. However, instead of reacting to the guard's call, maybe it would be better to say that she reacted to the smell of Anji's makeup. After being shut up in this room for so long, Eva was sensitive to even small changes in smell. Wow. Question is, how much makeup did she put?
来たわね。エンジ。
Angie. Maybe this is some sometimes recurring characters. No, not witch side. What about human side? Huh. And now this one shows right here. So is this really canon? Canon? What? Why did I say canon? I'm stupid. Is this really canon to what happened in the third episode? But there's a Ange, which is Battler's, you know, part of the family. Ushiromiya Ange, Rudolph and Kyrie's daughter, Battler's younger half sister. She didn't get to see Battler often, but they got on extremely well, and she greatly respected him. Since she was absent due to illness during the family conference, she always survives in solitude. Unfortunately, she has become emotionally disturbed, always carries a huge amount of cash with her, and has the bad habit of throwing around to make sure she never has to wait. Huh. So she had a lot of money on him. Not a lot of money on her. Wait, she was absent due to illness. I don't know how that happened though. Depends on what kind of illness exactly. Well, it looks like I guess it would be a common cold, but still. So if this one said 12 years later, then that means the family conference was supposed to hold like 12 years ago, and that means Anji would be like 6 years old by then, but she didn't come. So 12 years later means she's same age as Battler. Battler already died. Let's think this something. Emotionally disturbed. I guess this is what happens when, when most of the when you have 99% of the family members that died, huh?
来たわ。呼ばれたから。
Why does her See, when I first heard her, I thought it was like her voice sounded familiar. Hmm. On Eva's face, there was no trace of a person warmly welcoming their niece. And on Anji's face, you couldn't see the expression of one pleased to meet with their aunt. Eva waved her arm, which had grown as thin as a withered branch, and motioned for the guard to leave. The guard bowed silently and went out into the hall.
暗い上に空気もひどいわ。カーテンでも開けたら。
そうすると、あんたの依頼した殺し屋が窓越しに撃ってくるって寸法なのかしら。
あんたの暗殺依頼なら、私が受けたいわ。家でのんびり、ほんの一月も過ごしてれば、勝手に任務が終わるもの。
She wishes she get hired as assassin. What? I feel like Anji has this very... I don't know about emotionally disturbed. I feel like, judging by her tone, she seems to be like really jaded. But she is part of Ushiromiya family after all, and I feel like most of the entire family, most of her family is fucked up, so take care of her. But according to both Eva and Anji, it seems both don't get along so well. Their discussion was quite morbid for an aunt and niece. However, they didn't look like they were joking. At the very least, Eva believed that someone was after her life. All of the Ushiromiya family's massive fortune had come into the possession of Ushiromiya Eva. It was said that this fortune also included the 10 tons of hidden gold that Ushiromiya Kinzo was rumored to have hidden. While this vast wealth lay in Eva's cunning, sly, and suspicious hands, no one was able to complain. but it was rumored that as soon as it was passed on to Anji, who was no more than a young girl, certain people were plotting to snatch it away. Certain people? I wonder who exactly. By now, Eva and Anji were Kinzo's only descendants, and only two survivors of the family. If Eva died, all of the wealth would go to Anji. And if Anji were then to be killed as well, that wealth would go to the family of Anji's mother, Kairi. In this sense, not only Eva, but Anji as well, were in a position where it wouldn't be odd at all for their life to be targeted by some unknown person. And Eva had hated Anji for a long time. This was because she knew that, after losing her only precious son, George, the inheritor of her own wealth would be none other than the girl who had been absent at the family conference 12 years ago, and who had survived. Eva shunned Anji, disliked her, and even hated her. She isolated Anji in a special school and separated her from the youth and happiness normal people have, trying to keep her as a pet until death. However, Eva had succumbed to an incurable illness, and ironically, her remaining life was estimated to be the same as Kinzo's had been at that family conference 12 years ago. Both Eva and Anji hated each other. Even though they were each other's last blood relatives, they hated each other so much that they hoped the other would die quickly.
それでわざわざ呼びつけてなんのよ。
私はもう長くないわ。ヤブ医者どもは未だに私が盛られた毒が何かも検出できない。
Quack doctors.
わかってるの。きっと某国の諜報機関で使われてた秘密の暗殺薬なのよ。ああ、私は殺されるのよ。殺されるのよ。よかったわね。もうじき死ぬわよ。そうすれば、さぞやあなたの胸がすくでしょうね。
No words.
かわいそうな人。
This always happened. They immediately deviated from the main topic, distorting it into a more unsettling discussion. Eva, who was absolutely paranoid, believed that someone was always after her life. And in actual fact, after inheriting the vast wealth of the Ushiromiya family, she had used wild methods just like Kinzo had done in the past, repeatedly making money by any means necessary and creating many enemies along the way. With a massive supply of capital, she had plotted to aggressively buy businesses that were starting to have rapid growth, making them buy it back at a high price under the guise of reconciliation. Ironically, it was the same type of action that her husband's company had been hit with 12 years ago. She had repeated this constantly for 12 years. Oh, wow. You really never learned it from your husband, huh? She had also earned a lot of hatred. If her husband had heard of this from beyond the grave, he might have defended her, saying that the loneliness from her losing her family fueled her actions. However, of all the people who knew her now, none would defend her. For some time, Eva eloquently spoke of how her life has been being targeted, listing off names of people who hated her, and sneering at the fact that she still hadn't been killed. Well, who are the names? That's the question. Even though Ange heard her own name included in that list, wow, why am I not surprised? There was no particular change in her expression, and she waited indifferently for Eva to tire herself out.
私はね、憎いのよ。あんたが。
Yeah, I know. You don't really have to rub that in.
光栄ね。私もよ。
ジョージのために築いた未来だった。 それをあんたにかすめ取られるなんて。ルドルフの娘に奪われるなんて。私は悔しい。子も残せず財産すらも奪われるなんて、それが私には許せない。
だったら財産全部お布施にでもしちゃえば。お百度踏んでた宗教系の連中はどうしたのよ。
With all these vast riches, that can be an option, but I'm not sure what Anji would do with her. I don't know what I'd be in Anji's perspective what to do with all the riches, but she'd be the target. She'd be the next target after Eva gets eliminated. So.
連中はみんな言うのよ。多すぎる財産が私の負担になっているって。決まってだから預けて清める必要があるとか言い出すのよ。それで思いついたのよ。寄付はやめたわ。
For a time, Eva had searched for the founders of several strange and new religious cults, perhaps seeking peace in her heart. But they gave her heart no relief, and if anything, they ended up increasing her paranoia further.
お金が余ってるなら、サラブレッド買い占めて、コンビーフでも作れば？
それよりもっと面白いことを思いついたのよ。いろいろ悩んだわ。どうやればあなたをひどい目に遭わせられるかをね。
What would Eva do to make things horrible for her?
殺してしまおうとも思ったわ。あるいはすべての財産を消し去り、あなたを無一文にして後ろ宮家から叩き出してやろうかとも思ったわ。素敵でしょ？お上品に育てられたご令嬢が腐ったパンや泥水を這いつくばって漁り回るのよ。ああ、それも実に素敵だわ。
You know, it feels like I wouldn't really say this a demon just took over Eva. I feel like the witches also taking over her too. But wow, that's wild. Selling Ange off to slavery. You know, it really makes me question Eva, whether like you pity her or you just label her as like a really bottom tier of the barrel. But I'm not gonna be mad. I'm not gonna get upset over this stupid shit. I'll probably discuss this more later after this one is over.
楽しい？
楽しいわ。あなたを怯えさせるのはね。でももうじき私は死ぬわ。だから私が死んだ後もどうやってあなたを苦しませ続けるか考えたの。そうしたら案外単純なことだったわ。それをあなたに話したくて呼んだのよ。
Sounds fun.
そろそろ中間近いんだけど。手短にね。
あなたにすべての財産を相続することにしたわ。
Well, I I figured that's what happened. No words.
へえ。
それどころか、私が死ぬ最後の一日まで、どこまでも財産を増やして、膨れに膨らませてあなたに相続することにしたのよ。
I can't tell if this is even like a good thing or a bad thing. Because you don't.
それがどういうことか、想像がつくかしら。
わかんないわ。
Yeah, I don't get it either.
バカだから。
そうよね。わかんないでしょうね。楽しみにしてなさいよ。本当に楽しいわよ。お金持ちは。
Not really. Because, you can do many things with it, With money comes power.
毎日日本中の妖怪が朝から晩まで遊びに来るわよ。あんたの私生活はこれからはすべてワイドショーと週刊誌が覗き見してくれるわ。何をしてもしなくてもマスコミは必ず私を批判する。施せばブルジョワだと叩かれ、渋れば主戦度だと罵られる。ああ、本当に素敵な毎日よ。そんな日々に若くて先の長いあなたをぜひ招待してあげようと思いついたの。本当に素敵でしょ。
あんたのしてきたことに対する世間の正当な評価でしょ。
そうね、そうでしょうね。いいわ。好きなだけ私を罵るといいわ。そしてその評価をあなたが背負うのよ。製品が善人、金持ちは死ねというのが日本の文化。
Wait, so people that live in poverty gets praised, but the wealthy ones are a piece of shit. Oh boy. Thus, this is a really harsh reality that we get cursed upon.
あんたはやがて何をしてもしなくても日本中から妬みと恨みの象徴に祭り上げられていく。そんな生活の中で生きていくあなたのこれからの人生はどんなにもいびつなものなのかしらね。あんたの味方は誰もいない。あんたの悩みなど誰も聞かない。あなたを罵ることは公然としたスポーツになる。
Abusing you will become a public sport. I feel like cancel culture is a living hell of a public sport, if you ask me.
そしてそれを誰も止めない。
But they say it's fiction, but holy shit, this looks like something that we are living in a harsh reality, and it happens.
ああ、エンジェ。ああ、本当に楽しみよ。あんたはどんな人生を送ってどう終えるのかしら。 世界中の誰も信用できず、誰も愛せず、誰とも語り合えない人生をたっぷり満喫しなさい。その苦労話を持って地獄へ落ちてくるのを私はのんびりと待っているわ。
What a mess. Her insane laughter turned into a painful cough. Without changing her expression in the slightest, looking completely unconcerned, Anji stared at the only survivor of Rokujima. Perhaps because he found the violent coughing suspicious, the guard gave a short knock on the door and rushed in at the same time. Anji glanced at him, wordlessly making it clear that she didn't intend to move a step from where she was. Anji was prepared for some kind of trap to frame her in Eva's death. However, that was fortunately a needless fear. As the guard rubbed Eva's back, he poured hot water from a thermos into a mug. As he did, Eva kept coughing, apparently in pain. Anji figured that this was probably the last she'd see of the Rokujima witch's final days. Eventually, the coughing subsided and Eva regained her normal breathing. However, the glittering madness inside her eyes hadn't subsided in the slightest.
あの呪われた莫大な黄金と後ろ宮家当主の家督、そして黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェの名を今こそあなたに譲るわ。
Cursed mass of gold in the Ushiromiya family headship, the name of the golden witch Beatrice.
魔女の名にふさわしい狂って歪んだ生涯を楽しみなさい。
So not only you're gonna inherit me being rich and making me the family ruler and the witch, that's you're gonna pass it on to Anji, who's still at a young age. The endless bad luck and curse, huh?
そんなのいらないわ。それより教えて。
I'll be sitting here, I'll be like, fuck no. I don't want to be rich.
あの日、六軒島で何があったの？事故があったなんて、私は信じない。あの日に何があったのか、父さんと母さんと兄さんがどうして死んだのか、本当のことを教えて。
ああ、それが一番の嫌がらせよね。あの日に何があったか。1986年の今日、何があったのか。
On this day in 1986.
なんて言葉を残して3人が死んだのか知りたいわよね。教えないわよ。呪われた黄金は残す。でもね、あんたが望む真相は私が地獄まで持っていくわ。
So you're not gonna fucking tell me the answers then, because you're very spiteful and hateful. Okay.
それがあんたにできる一番の嫌がらせよ。悔しい？聞きたければ地獄まで行ってあんたの家族に聞いてみるといい。 なら、今すぐ死なないとね。今すぐへそでも噛んで死んじゃえば。
Yeah, very funny. That laugh continued until she started coughing again, and that cough did not subside until she started moaning and going into convulsions. October 4th, 1986. On Rokenjima, the Ushiromiya family's customary and final family conference was held. 1986. So 12 years later is 1998, and on the next day, October 5th, an extremely unfortunate accident, quote-unquote, occurred, and the Ushiromiya family was wiped out. Fortunately, Ushiromiya Iva escaped from that, and inherited almost all of the Ushiromiya family's fortune. However, due to the many turbulent rumors surrounding the Ushiromiya family, the way Iva acted afterwards, and her unnatural actions at the time of the unfortunate accident, the public was in an uproar over whether this might have been a conspiracy to get all of the inheritance for herself. Under pressure from the public, prosecutors repeatedly tried to investigate the matter, and the media began tracing the outline of the conspiracy they called the Rokenjima suspicion. But in the end, they weren't even able to find proof that this quote-unquote unfortunate accident was a crime. However, because the media continued to give the impression that the Rokenjima suspicion was a conspiracy of Eva's, public opinion began to believe that she was the true culprit. Of course, that was also influenced by the bad impression caused by all of that easily condemnable, overbearing financial activity, which she had carried out using that vast wealth. Every time she did something and the rumors started spreading, the media would bring back the Rokenjima suspicion, blaming the criminal justice system by saying that she was the true culprit and that the only person she hadn't been arrested was because even the police had been bribed. So the impression that she was a great villain grew stronger and stronger. Her heart eventually degenerated, and ironically, it began to transfigure her into the kind of human that the public expected. By now, Eva had no one she could trust and no family. After her beloved husband passed away, the talk shows occasionally mentioned his company, saying that it was run recklessly while criticizing and disgracing its former accomplishments. Even her beloved son George was dramatized as the stereotypical rich, lazy son that the public expected, and no one even wanted to know what a simple and honest character he had possessed. And to how much all of this, you know, what they say, the real world is a very harsh reality. You mean, you know, when all of your family members died, nothing can really defend you. The media will spread this around and treat it as propaganda. Yeah, that's how it is. Excuse me. As to how much all of this hurt Eva and ran her to ruin, no one cared. The public was only interested out of curiosity about how a super rich evil woman who killed her whole family lived her pitiful later years. So that happened more and more, and eventually, Eva's personality was transfigured until people started calling her a lunatic. It was said that this sometimes reminded her of the father whom she had once admired in his later years, and that she laughed at herself with scorn. And on the day of that final family conference, because Ushiromiya Rudolph's daughter, Ange, had been sick and had stayed with her mother's family, she had not participated. At the age of 6, she had lost her family and had gained Eva as her guardian. Well, that explains it then. Since Ange had become Eva's only blood relative, Eva took very good care of her, quote unquote. She had imposing guards surrounding Anji's person at all times to prevent her from coming to her harm. Anji had even her right to play with friends, to come home from school together, and to enjoy the seasons together, stolen away, so that she can live a full and pleasant school life, quote unquote. Eva had sent Anji to an elegant boarding school that took care of her every need, completely isolating her from the world. She didn't even know the popular songs that girls her age might hum. She had never given a chance to enjoy window shopping with her friends or stuffing her mouth with crepes, much less an encounter with a member of the opposite sex to make her heart throb. Anji did not have a single friend. If anyone carelessly acted friendly with Anji, they would be scolded by the guards or else the teachers. All of them were strictly ordered not to let shabby humans approach the daughter of the esteemed Ushiromiya family. During that time, the talk shows were always mentioning Ushiromiya Eva. Ushiromiya Eva, always spreading rumors about her countless financial misdeeds. Those who knew who her quote-unquote daughter was naturally began to keep their distance. Even now, she was called a witch at school, and anytime something bad happened, even if there was no proof, it would be whispered. Whispered as though if for absolute truth that she had imposed her will on the school staff. The environment makes the person. By now, she had a heart as wild as those around her feared. No one trusted her, so she never bothered to believe in anyone. No one loved her, so she never even tried to love. And when Eva caught an incurable illness on top of all this, it was whispered that this too was a conspiracy, and this time Anji was set up as the mastermind. Everyone whispered that the daughters of witches are witches too. Even the talk shows and the weekly magazines whispered that. So Anji too accepted it as though it was definitely no, as though it was obviously true. Therefore, since she already believed that she was a witch, when she heard that the name of the Golden Witch was being turned over to her, she only felt like saying, just figured that out now. However, she was at least sure of one thing. This title of witch that she had inherited would definitely never be inherited by anyone else. She would be the last head of the Ushiromiya family and the last lonely Golden Witch. Well, if well, that's the thing with Anji being a Golden Witch. So I don't know. It's hard to tell if she's immortal or not. But just be, but she is, Golden Witch. That means Anji Beatrice. There's no way she's immortal. Anji could be seen on the roof of a skyscraper. Compared to the winds of the world that had beaten down upon her until now, this strong, cold wind was warm and pleasant. Below her lay a beautiful nighttime scene and a dazzling river of red and white lights. It was supposed to be clear out that night, so there really should have been countless stars stretching out over the sky. However, the light from the ground was too bright, so you couldn't see them at all. Anji couldn't help but think that what she truly sought must lie in that unseen starlight. The world of reality below her looked so far away from here. She could imagine that this place was the closest to the world she really should be in. There was only one thing that Anji cursed. Why had she not been able to go to that family conference on that day 12 years ago? Even though if she had gone, it would probably have been possible for her to stay with her family forever. Lately, she'd been dreaming about her family over and over again. The person I was 12 years ago calls out frantically, urging them not to go to the family conference. But both mom and dad are too far away, and my hand won't reach them. Badler Nissan always loved me a lot, and he'd always pat my head. But even though it looks like that hand's about to touch me, even it does not reach, For some reason, I started having that dream over and over. Every time I had the same dream, I uselessly tried to stretch out my hand even more forcefully, over and over and over. Even if only Battler and Nissan had lived, then perhaps we'd at least be able to support each other in my cold and lonely reality. But his hand never reaches me. Even if I climb to the roof of this tall building, I'm so far away from all of them. A mysterious girl appears in my dreams and urges me. She urges me to find the truth of what happened 12 years ago. Now,
父さんたちにあの日何があったのかを知ることができたなら帰ってきてくれるの。
everything that happened to Father and the rest of them that day, if they come back.
せめて誰かが。
There was no way that anyone would answer that question for her. I get it. In this world, I have no family or friends. So, let's go. Let's go home, to where my family is. From the start, Anji's figure had been on the outer side of the fence. The scenery below her eyes was distant, beautiful, and so fantastical that it actually didn't give rise to fear. If I look down, I'll surely be swallowed up by the world below. So I looked up. For a harsh city, it is pretty beautiful during the night. So I looked up because I wanted to be taken to the world above, the world where my family lives. Who cares about vast wealth? Who cares about cursed gold? Who cares about the golden witch Beatrice? What I really want, even a mountain of gold couldn't get me. What I need for that is to take a single step forward. Just that little bit of courage. At that moment, I definitely heard a voice. It was the voice I knew, a voice that had called to me in my dreams for so long. Oh my god, Burned Castle. Oh. Doing all kinds of miracles. Let's see. Ain't this something? Before my eyes, in other words, in mid-air above that jet-black nighttime scenery, there was the figure of the girl I'd seen in my dreams. She spoke again with the same voice I'd heard in those dreams.
あなたの助けが必要なの。私の助け？
My assistance?
誰が？
あなたの家族がよ。あなたの家族は永遠に12年前の今日から明日に閉じ込められているわ。
Imprisoned in the span from this day, 12 years ago, until the following day.
それを救えば私の家族は帰ってくるの？
When I asked the question I had most wanted to, the girl cruelly stopped talking in her head.
それは約束できないわ。敵は黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ。
The enemy is the golden witch Beatrice.
強大な相手よ。私には太刀打ちできない。
Wait, so you can't oppose her, but you...
でも同じ黄金の魔女ならなんとかなるかもしれない。
How so?
何の話かわからないわ。
1986年のベアトリーチェに太刀打ちできるのは1998年の最後のベアトリーチェだけ。
The only one who can oppose the Beatrice of 1986 is the final Beatrice of 1998.
つまりあなたよ。エンジェ・ベアトリーチェ。
Ange Beatrice. Huh. Do I call her by Ange Beatrice? Or Ushiromia Ange?
12年前の魔女が私の家族を奪ったの？
そう。あなたの仇にあたる。
The enemy.
あなたに常に孤独な未来を強いる元凶よ。私の家族の仇。見返りにあなたの望む最も理想的な世界、家族の帰ってくる世界のかけらを探してあげるわ。でも必ず希望が叶うと約束はできない。1986年のベアトリーチェのゲーム版はあまりに完璧。
Game board in 1986, quite perfect.
今日の手土産にその理想のかけらを持参しようとしたんだけれど、未だに見つけられないの。
Yeah, I guess that fragment is like finding a needle in a fucking haystack.
かなりの強固な運命よ。ラムダデルタと戦った時以来の。何を言ってるのかわからない。あなたに復讐のチャンスを。見返りにあなたが享受できる可能性の中で最も幸せな結末を探して持ってくることを約束するわ。復讐。
Ange. Her plot of revenge. So Ange is like the Avenger, while Eva is like the. I always thought like in the third episode when I was reading through it, is like Eva is like the negative vibe of revenge.
徒労になるかもしれない。仮に復讐を成し遂げられたとしても、家族が帰ってくる絶対の保証はない。奇跡的確率でせいぜい一人を連れ戻せるかどうかよ。
Ange understood the meaning of that dream. The dream where it seemed that was just a little more stretching. Her hand might be able to reach at least Battler Nissan.
奇跡的な確率でもそれはゼロよりは高いのよね。 1% くらい。あらゆる可能性の数値は結果の前に無力よ。だからその数字を私には語ることができない。でも私が何もしないよりは絶対にわずかの可能性がある。ええ、あなたが希望を捨てない限り。ただし覚悟して。
As long as you not throw the desire away. 1%? That's like a playing with gotcha by now. Holy shit.
それは限りなくゼロに近い。
Holy moly.
いいわ。乗るわ、その話。いいのね。多分もう二度とここへは帰ってこれないわよ。ここは私のいるべき世界じゃないわ。そして私のいるべき世界は私が自分で探す。あなたの名前を聞かせて。
She's like, fuck this world. I don't want to be here anymore. All I need to do, all I need is a goal to find what's happening within my family. That's about it.
奇跡の魔女ベルンカステ。
The Witch of Miracles.
そして我が名においてあなたを黄金の魔女エンジェ・ベアトリーチェだと認めるわ。
You acknowledge me as the Golden Witch Ange Beatrice. Huh. Does that include Witch's side as well? Huh. So we got the human side, which is Ushiromiya Ange. Now we got Ange Beatrice there. The final witch, born in 1998, named by Eva as her successor and accepted with Bern Castle as her guardian. She is starting from zero as a witch, but as her body is located 12 years in the future, she possesses ultimate magic resistance that prevents her from being targeted by any of Beatrice's magic. Additionally, completely converse to her older brother's magic resistance, she has a natural talent for attacks against magic types. Her potential in both attack and defense is at the highest level, but the distance is great. 12 years really is. The one and only last hope of restoring, happiness and getting rid of the negative aspects, huh? This will be interesting. Ange Beatrice.
今こそあなたは本当の魔女よ。
The instant she proclaimed that I was a witch, I felt dizzy, as though something inside me had changed drastically. At that time, I heard a clunk. It was the sound of the door that opened to the staircase to the roof. It was Aunt Eva's guards. There are only guards in name.
20マルタイ発見屋上応援求む。エンジェさん探しましたよ。そこは危ないですから早くこちらへ。
何あれファンクラブよ。私結構モテるの。捕まる必要はないわね。行きましょう。
Oh, I couldn't even control the dialogue. And it just controls just like that. But I can say, it seems Ange's journey begins. Ange has to deal with the fairly negative aspects. Rina Sato. Now that's a VA that I can recognize easily. And there's the credits. Ended just like that. Looking annoyed, Berncastle turned on her heels in the jet black sky. Watching that perfectly casual gesture, I followed her as though it was completely normal.
エンジェさん待ちなさい。早まるな危ない。
ああ、ダメね。全然ダメ。じゃあまたね。See you again.
See you again.
迎えにはリムジンをよこしてちょうだい。みんなも一緒だから。じゃあね。
Eva's guards. That time I heard a clunk. It was the sound of the door open. See, it was moving on. It was Aunt Eva's guards. They're only guards going by their name. Aren't they the cage that wraps the tightest around me, shouting me in? They saw I was already on the other side of the fence and dashed forward, horrified. What's that? My fan club. I'm pretty popular. And then she fell It does look like she fell off the building. New Game Boy added. The next episode has been unlocked. New elements may be accessed from the title screen. Huh. And now we have a different title this time. The title screen is actually different this time. Holy shit. Oh, all these trophies though. We are getting really close to the fourth episode. I mean, not fourth episode. Well, really close to the question arcs being done. But I feel like, well, because of the oh, but yeah, here's the thing though. Like, I really wanted to get episode 4 done, but because it's actually like I started episode 1 like a year ago, but and I really wanted to get 4 episodes done within the span of a year, but because I was got gotcha Grand Blue Fantasy grind and such. Like you would I don't normally like upload like some Grand Blue videos, but I do like somewhat here and there if I want to shit post. But there's that. Can you execute her? Oh, I wonder. Oh, you can't execute on. You can't execute Ange though. Hmm. About her, but you can with like all of them though. I'm pretty sure you can't execute them either. Eva Beatrice. Hmm. Ain't that something? Eva Beatrice within her school uniform and such. That is interesting. You can change like the appearance with Eva Beatrice. That's something I never see right there. So now because Ange is acknowledged by Burnt Castle, she's now Be- she's now Ange Beatrice. But I don't know if I want to go play around with that. Let's look at episode 3 though. I don't think I've oh wait, there's more added to it. Let's see. There is the lore of the Chiester Sisters Imperial Guard Corps, the Golden Bow, and the Secession of the Witch. Hmm, I think that's something. But yeah, we are around an hour in. I feel like I wanted to. I guess I do want to give my bit of thought. Actually, let's see right here. Oh, I can start the fourth episode, but I feel like we are reaching a very end. But yeah, this within the Inhuman Receptor episode 3, I think I kind of understand with how Anji turns out, and because she now doesn't have any family anymore, and the only guardian, the only caretaker she has is her aunt, in which she was a piece of shit. And well, thing with Anji is like when 12 years before she's she has a personality as a human, and then 12 years later, you know, she's now really jaded. I would say mostly. It says mostly disturbed, but she's just really jaded of the sort. And this is what happens with what Eva did to not give her the child that she needs because she just has an ego. In which I don't know if you can really blame Anji for not coming to Family Congress, although I'm not sure if like her going to the Family Congress would really change anything or cause like any the result of the sort. But I don't know how she got sick. I don't know if this is like a natural thing or it's just quote unquote magic that casted sickness upon her. But it just tends to happen. It's like do you blame Anji for not participating, or is it like it's weird. It's telling. I find it funny that you would she pities Eva for being you know dark and hateful, even though like for me like my mind is just like it's slowly going to snap to where like I say like well Eva's just the bottom of the barrel of the sword, in which I don't know if I would have decided on my question arc character tier list I'm gonna plan to do, but you know that's what happens with Anji. She's casted upon the family riches and the title of the witch, and it feels like the judging from the the background of the building, she plans to kill herself, but you know she now has this goal as the future Anji to figure out what caused the incident from 12 years ago. And there's that. Well, I really wanted to talk more of this, but I feel like I want because normally like if I wanted to like talk this, I was like do it during a live stream, but yeah. But I'm pretty sure like there's someone I know in Discord that I would comfortably talk about it. But yeah, stay tuned for the fourth episode. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. You'll have a good one.